Good evening. Welcome to the 66th Governor Mifflin High School Commencement Ceremony. I have the honor and privilege to serve this school and this great community as a high school principal. Tonight, families, friends, and faculty members join us as one community to celebrate and recognize the accomplishments of each member of the class of 2019. I would like to take a moment to recognize a very important group of people. They have worked countless hours organizing, preparing, and delivering lessons to our graduates for the last 13 years. The teachers in attendance tonight join us from Brecknock, Cumru, Mifflin Park, the intermediate school, the middle school, and the high school. Please join me in recognizing the teachers, school counselors, administrators, and support staff who are here celebrating with us tonight. This year's graduates are nothing short of remarkable. They carried on our Governor Mifflin traditions. They entertained audiences with music and drama performances, participated in various extracurricular activities, volunteered for service projects, inspired our youth through mentorship and collaboration, and raised money for various charities, including over $65,000 for the Fourth Diamonds Fund at our Mini-Thon, which is a school record. The weather also had an impact on our senior class. Rain canceled their fall pep assembly, it canceled their winter volleyball assembly, and leaks from the ceilings created some roadblocks in our hallways and classrooms. So I asked the student government leaders, how can I alleviate these disappointing situations? They uttered two words, Shady Maple. I did not expect to mention Shady Maple, the class trip, in this speech tonight. However, our class trip defined the character of the class of 2019. Upon leaving, the Shady Maple staff told our teachers that this was the most polite, cooperative, and friendly group of students they ever serviced. Whether it was supporting our athletes during competitions, enjoying musical performances, sitting in classrooms, or simple greetings in the hallway, we are going to miss the class of 2019. While most people go through life focused on comfort and security, this year's senior class has been challenged by an ever-changing world. But since they're inspired by a strong work ethic and motivated with the desire to achieve, I have no doubt the class of 2019 will go forth with drive, determination, and ambition to reach their goals. I'm confident that our graduates recognize they hold the power to achieve. Although you will be missed, we cannot wait to see exactly what the future holds for all of you. Thank you and congratulations. As we proceed through tonight's ceremony, we need to ensure that each student's name is heard as we read them. So I thank you in advance for providing courtesy and respect our students as they deserve the opportunity for their names to be heard. So please applaud at the appropriate times. It's with great pleasure I now introduce Caitlin Mazaki, our Vice President of the class of 2019.
Good evening. My name is Caitlin Mazaki, and I am the Vice President of the class of 2019. On behalf of my entire class, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you to Governor Mifflin's 2019 Commencement Ceremony. As we turn the page and reach the next chapter of our story, we should take a moment to reflect back on this journey we call high school. The past 4 years have been filled with memories that will last a lifetime. 720 days full of accomplishing achievements to brag about for years to come, and 5,760 hours forming unbreakable bonds with both classmates and teachers. From the drumline becoming 3-time East Coast champs a few weeks ago, to the extremely talented artists in the art show, to the amazing plays and musicals performed by the theater department, and don't forget about the unstoppable and hardworking sports teams, Governor Mifflin will forever hold a place in our hearts. I think I speak for us all when I say that the senioritis epidemic has affected each and every one of us. But the moment that had felt so far away has finally come. The time has come for us to face whatever this world has in store for us, but we wouldn't have made it to this point without the unconditional love, support, and assistance of others. To the parents and guardians present today, thank you for the limitless amount of hours put into helping us with schoolwork, even if everyday math was harder for you than it was for us. Thank you for always encouraging us and pushing us to our limits, especially in this final stage. To friends, thank you for always standing by our side and being our sunshine on a cloudy day. Thank you for giving us a reason to finish strong and constantly showering us with encouragement. To faculty, thank you for all the knowledge and wisdom you have embedded into our brains. Thank you for guiding us in the
My father has always said, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Now, that may be an oversimplification of a life philosophy, but I believe that we should take it as a challenge to recognize who we really are and to collaborate with others in what we love to do. Our class is not ordinary. Please stand if any of the following apply to you and stay standing. We have entrepreneurs starting their own businesses, both online and physical. You can stand. We have artists, actors, and musicians creating new views of life. We have athletes going across the state and beyond. And even a candidate for local municipal government. As you can see, our class is not ordinary. You may be seated. We study amongst people who are trained to save lives, people who are not afraid to get dirty and perform in ugly conditions, people who have already proved that they are willing to serve their community and country. Some of us have stayed in high school for 4 years, and some of us have already made strides towards our lives at BCTC, coming out with professional certifications. Some of us are dual-enrolled students at RAC, towards a possible associate's degree or higher. But one thing that is the same for each and every one of us is that we all have the experience to work online and pioneer new ideas. Together, we have a class of people who are ready to take on everything and anything that this world has to throw at us. We all have studied and put time into what we want to do, and we have created a vision of the future we want. It is our time to chase that dream. Together, we create Mustang Nation. Together, we create the future. Some of us have yet to find what we want to be in our lives, yet we are not without something to offer. We are in a unique situation. We are children of the internet, purveyors of technology. We are the masters of instant communication. Some say that this is our fatal flaw, suggesting an inability to work face-to-face, but this is so obviously false. We know what it means to communicate. We just do so in ways that are novel and new. Many of us seated on the floor here have a plethora of social media accounts, some with multiple Instagram accounts alone. The point is that we know how technology works better than any prior generation because, unlike others, we have grown up with it. We have always possessed the knowledge of the world in our pockets and today wrapped around our wrists. And we know how to use it. So what does this mean for us? Well, we have the knowledge that others do not. Our advantage is that knowledge. We are equipped with the innate ability to use technology and the ability to adapt to new programs and to a world that is developing at an ever-increasing rate. What can we do with that? How do we merge our passion with technology and its advantages? Well, traditionally, I would call out to my peers and challenge you all to succeed in life without any specific boundaries. I'm going to shift that today. I want to challenge everyone else. I want to challenge the adults in the room. I want to challenge the community, both Mifflin and beyond, to be ready to collaborate with us in this world. We are prepared to thrive in this digital age, and we have the knowledge and ability to adapt and learn at paces that are unheard of. It is time to change our collective paradigm. You've heard so much recently about small tech startups and their young entrepreneurs becoming the most influential in today's society. It is time to change our collective paradigm. We are starting today because our mid-20s will be too late for us. Take Mark Zuckerberg. He created Facebook at the age of 19. Daniel Elk, the man who created Spotify when he was only 25. Alexis Ohanian and Steve Huffman founding Reddit when they were both 22. Even our own Mifflin grad, Matt Allison, who co-founded the company Trendkite at the age of 25, just sold his company for $225 million. All of these companies were founded while we have been alive. This is us. This is what we can do for you. This is why we are challenging you. It is time to change our collective paradigm. We are connoisseurs of new technology. If you want to learn how to use it, we know. We can show you. We are motivated to find the best way to teach what we know. As a class, we are more technologically literate than any class before us. Let us collaborate with you and help us all improve our lives, our businesses, and our world, because we are ready. To my classmates, let us use technology to work with each other, network with each other, use it to help and support one another. We can stay together and stick together. Our lives have been connected, and likewise, we are a close-knit class of seniors. My father's words have wisdom, but it is inevitable that there will be difficult moments for all of us. However, I, like Thomas Carlyle, believe that permanence, perseverance, and persistence, in spite of all obstacles, discouragements, and impossibilities, distinguishes the strong soul from the weak. We are the strong souls with a wealth of knowledge to give to this world. We are Mustang Nation. Class of 2019, I would like to thank you so much for an amazing 13 years in Mifflin, and I know some of you have heard this before, but for the true last time this time, this is the voice from above, signing off.
The class of 2019 would like to present to the district a bench that will be implemented into the campus with the engraving of the words, "Learn to live, live to learn," for the student-centered learning experience program here at Governor Mifflin. The idea was created in order to expand the student learning experience outside of the classroom.
The phrase "learn to live, live to learn" has often been used throughout the district and represents the beauty of always striving to grow. We would like to present this bench in hopes of creating an outdoor area on campus that can over time be cared for with annual gifts from the future graduation classes to come.
Thank you. On behalf of the Governor Mifflin Board of School Directors and the communities which we represent, it is my honor to accept the senior gift from the class of 2019. This particular gift signifies a truly remarkable time in education at Governor Mifflin. As we move away from the traditional classroom, learning to a more modern and customized model designated to spark passion in each individual student, this bench provides a new place to sit and access a world of endless possibilities. Thank you, class of 2019. Your teachers have worked hard to help you develop the knowledge, the skills, and the attitudes to prepare you for life after Governor Mifflin. Take what you have learned and do something positive that's important to you. Make a difference. Choose your path wisely and walk it proudly. Congratulations to each of you. Thank you.
Good evening. Parents, friends, teachers, staff, and fellow students, it is an honor to speak to all of you today. Today we sit here together for the last time as a class at our high school graduation, ready to move on towards bigger and better things. We all have achieved this great accomplishment and should all be proud together of what we have done. Now I'd like us to take a moment to reflect on what we have experienced over the past 13 years. For those of us who went to Coomer Elementary, we had our half-day kindergarten classes, performed our third grade play, Fit as a Fiddle, and were the first ones to experience fourth grade at Coomer. That's right, we were the first and only class to come through Coomer Elementary and be leaders of the school 2 years in a row. As we progressed through the other schools together, we were the innovators, the first of our kind, introducing new ideas to the intermediate middle schools, such as Dodgeball Club in 8th grade. There were those of us who got our first glimpse of high school in 8th grade by walking across Waverly Street for geometry every morning. But no matter when we began our high school careers, today marks the end of them as we remember all the good it's done for us. Regardless of the length of time that we as individuals have in Mustangs, whether we started here in kindergarten or transferred here this past August, those of us sitting here today should be proud to say that Governor Mifflin has shaped who they are. I know that has most definitely helped me to become the man that I am today. There are two specific things that Mifflin has taught me that will stick with me throughout my entire life. The first being confidence, to believe in what I'm doing and to do the things that are best for me. I first discovered this confidence on the athletic field when I quit baseball to play water polo. Since baseball was one of the more popular sports of the time, it seemed completely absurd to quit for such an unknown sport such as water polo. But I must say, playing water polo is one of the greatest decisions of my life. Going against the grain to do what was right for me led me to the sport I'm passionate about, introduced me to friends that I'll know forever, and taught me to be confident. To go outside the box to achieve my goals, to lead the team and know that whatever I'm doing, I can do. I played the sports that weren't the most popular. I took all of the hardest AP courses I could take because that's what I wanted to do. Everyone who is graduating today, I hope that you all do the things that you want to do, no matter how crazy or weird or different they are, because the only thing that is important is that you enjoy it. The second lesson that I learned is quite a simple one, but one that will help me tremendously as I continue my education. The simple lesson is hard work. Although I'd like to thank every teacher I've ever had because you all have been excellent, Mr. Hunter and Mr. Yenser are two that have really shown me that it's going to take work to pass hard courses, in their cases, AP Chemistry and AP Calculus. It was a challenge to get through those, and as I know that as I go through college and medical school, classes are going to get much, much more difficult, and I will need to work extremely hard to get through them. My hope is that as you all leave here today, whether to enter the workforce, attend a trade school, enlist in the military, or pursue a college degree, you all work as hard as you can because it is known that the best things in life come through hard work. There are many people to thank for everything that has happened to me over my life, and especially the last 4 years. I already thank the teachers, but I will thank you again for all the lessons and knowledge you have passed on to me. Most importantly, though, I need to thank my parents and family for always encouraging me in everything I do. I wouldn't be where I am today without them. As I end this message to all you fellow graduates, I hope to leave you with this. As we go to our separate ways after today, be confident in who you are, do the things you want to do, and do them to the best of your ability with 100% effort. Thank you.
Good evening, parents, siblings, faculty, friends, and most importantly, students. Today is finally the day that we've been talking about for the past year, or 4, or 13. Today is the day we become graduates of Governor Mifflin. It's been quite a journey to get here, and we've all taken different paths to arrive at this point. Some of us have lived here in Mifflin our entire lives, and some have only joined this community in recent years. Some played sports, others participated in music, and others in art, student government, or community service. We've all had completely different high school experiences, and looking around you, you may see students that you've never seen before in your life. But regardless of our diverse pasts and the different directions we will all head very soon, today we are one family, the class of 2019. We all get to share this experience with each other, decorated in maroon and gold, jittery with excitement, and hoping that we don't trip as we walk across the stage. Today, we are one. I want you to take a moment and reflect on how this feels. Look around, look at each other, observe your surroundings. This is a beautiful moment, and one that hopefully you'll remember for the rest of your life. Today, we take a huge step into our futures. As cheesy as it may sound, today is the start of our adult lives. No matter where you're headed next, college, the workforce, the military, or something else, today is a huge milestone in our development into citizens of the world. Now, as important as it is to remember all the great achievements we've had throughout our years at Mifflin, and there are plenty, we've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars through Minithon, won countless titles in sports, and put on spectacular concerts and theater productions over the past 4 years. I believe it's even more important to talk about the future of this class. We're all here to celebrate the commencement of the class of 2019. Think about that word, commencement. Sure, it's a word used to describe a graduation, but in a larger sense, the word describes a beginning, a new start. You could say that today marks the commencement of our future lives. No matter who you were during high school, what triumphs you achieved or mistakes you have made, today you put that chapter of your life behind you and start a new one. It's taken a lot to get to this point, and you should be so proud of yourselves. Graduating high school is no small feat, and the hard work you've all put in to get here does not go unnoticed. I have faith that today is just the beginning of the accomplishments that this group of students will have throughout all of our lives. There is so much talent, intelligence, and passion in this room, and I know you will all do amazing things. I wanted to end this speech with some piece of advice I could offer my fellow classmates as we step out into the world. But I kept thinking to myself, what do I even have to offer? How much wisdom could one girl at 17 years old have? But then I realized that many of the lessons I learned started right here at Mifflin. And what could be more fitting than sharing one of these lessons that's especially valuable to me? So, as I began to reflect on the lessons I've learned at Mifflin, my mind continued to wander to the first lesson I remember learning in my years at school. Now, I'm not talking about the lessons we learned in class, math, English, or science. I'm talking about the lessons that you can apply to your life to develop as a person. So, in 2009, the first grade class at Kumru put on a play called Down on the Farm. The play tells the story of a farmer who plants some tulips in his garden one year. However, as the plants slowly grow from seed to sprout to flower, the farmer notices that one of his flowers is not growing as fast as the others. He thinks that maybe this plant isn't even a flower at all, but instead it's a weed that doesn't deserve to grow in his garden. The farmer almost pulls this weed out of the ground until he suddenly learns the plant isn't a tulip or a weed, it's a daffodil. No wonder the plant wasn't growing like the others. It simply wasn't meant to grow at the same time as the tulips. It had its own pace, and it bloomed when it was ready to. At first glance, this story may not seem like it has much wisdom to offer, but I believe that the lessons in the story are ones that not enough people are taught, especially as young adults. The message that I get out of this story is that you will grow and bloom when you're ready, and that uncertainty can lead to beautiful things. I'm positive that every student here in this room, including me, is scared about what lies ahead. There are so many unknowns at this point in our lives. The one thing we all have in common is we don't know where we'll end up in the future. Some of you may look around at your peers and think that everyone else has so much more figured out than you do. But that's okay. The good news is that we're so young and so much lies ahead of us. This is a time for growth, for discovering who you are and who you want to be. If I can offer you one small piece of advice to hold with you as you leave today, it's this. Embrace the uncertainty. Embrace your mistakes and embrace your imperfections. These are the things that help us grow, and I think it's important to not view these moments as intimidating or difficult, but to view them as opportunities to learn. As we head into the unknown, take it one day at a time and appreciate every single moment of this time in your life. We're growing into who we're meant to become, and I can't think of anything more beautiful than that. So let's do this. Let's go out and show the world what the class of 2019 has to offer. I wish you all the best on whatever path you choose to take, and I can't wait to see the amazing impact that this group of students will have on the world. Thank you.
When I was given the assignment of delivering a speech at graduation, the only instruction I received was, make it short. First things first, students, classmates, teammates, friends, I would like for you to just thank your parents right now, as loud as you can. Right now, I'm serious. Thank you! We good? Now, at least for the moment, forget about them. Forget about your family, forget about your siblings, forget about our teachers, because today is about us. Today is our day. Today, we move on, and from this point forward, we have to start thinking not just about ourselves, but for ourselves. We have to step up. To put things in perspective, we have spent about 35% of our lives together. And throughout that time, we have learned about rules and laws and definitions. We have gone from learning Roy G. Biv to reading Shakespeare and taking the second derivative of a function. We have learned lots of facts, like the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and have experienced challenges like fire drills in the snow without our coats. And we have overcome so many obstacles and have achieved so much. So, now what? We now have to make a lot of serious, important decisions that only we can answer for. We have to deal with the consequences of our actions even more so now than we did yesterday. And that's a lot of responsibility. But I think the most challenging part of all of this is that we are now in charge of our own happiness, of our lives. Which brings up the question I've been thinking about a lot lately. What does it mean to live a happy life? There are two main viewpoints I've noticed people have. The first, family and friends are the most important part of a good life. And the second, money. Both have positives and negatives. Family, pro, it's a good support system. Con, people. Money, pro, money. Con, can't buy me love. So, what is the answer? Is it money, love, or something else? And while I'm not an expert in anything, least of all the meaning and purpose of life, maybe, just maybe, I can contribute something from my own experience that may help. Like many of us here today, I spent most of my high school career knee-deep in homework, sports, and clubs. I would come home from track or soccer practice and immediately start my homework, which would take me, at times, 5 hours to complete. I'd get home at 5, start doing my homework, take a 15-minute break for dinner, complete my homework at around 9:10, take a shower, sleep, repeat. And that was on days where I didn't have games or meets. Sure, we'd get a lot out of it. Good awards, good grades, scholarships, little sleep, stress, loneliness. It was simultaneously rewarding and isolating. And this past year really showed me what I was missing out. I barely had homework this year, so I would have hours of free time that I used to hang out with friends, become more involved in clubs, and practice my violin to my violin teacher's delight. Now, I want to tell you the story of one of our classmates, little Susie. Little Susie entered high school assuming they weren't going to college and decided that instead of focusing on academics, they would focus on finding a group of good friends and exploring the world. Now, little Susie is quite smart, an incredibly talented artist, took a bunch of AP classes, the whole 9 yards. But in the beginning of high school, they chose just not to do their work, put headphones on, tune the teacher out, and ignore homework in favor of hanging out with friends. Little Susie learned a lot. They learned about how the world works, about the good and bad sides of people, about how to live life. And when little Susie got to senior year, they realized how important and, well, educational the school experience could be if they just looked around. They realized all the opportunities they missed just because they didn't try. And this year, little Susie began studying more, looking at different career opportunities, and even got an internship. Life isn't about black or white, right or wrong, money or family. Life is about balance. Balancing school and friends, balancing work and play, balancing the failures with the successes. And sometimes maintaining that balance can be more than we can handle. That is why, as we move forward into the next stage of our lives, we must be mindful of our past. The friendships that we have made over the past 13 years, the time spent with family, the lessons that we have learned, all these things should not be forgotten, but cherished, looked back upon, and learned from as we face an uncertain future. I might be wrong. I mean, what do I know? I'm only 17, and yesterday I drew the number 3 backwards on accident. But I do know that this year I learned so much more by not always looking at homework, the same way little Susie learned by actually doing theirs. So, congrats, class of 2019. Today, we go out into the world, and today, we are graduates.
Would everyone please rise and join the class in singing the school's alma mater? You may be seated.
Hello, I'm Natalie Jones, and it is truly an honor to be presenting the brave men and women of the class of 2019 that will be advancing onto a career in the armed forces after graduation. These men and women are doing a great service to us in our country as they dedicate their lives to the betterment of this nation. The military will shape them into the future leaders of the world and push them beyond what they even knew was possible, as they become a better version of themselves. As in the words of Dwight D. Eisenhower, history does not long entrust the care of freedom to the weak or the timid. The path may sometimes seem impossible, but through their valiant efforts, they will succeed in whatever they are faced with. Join me in acknowledging the following students who plan on serving our country. Please stand when your name is called, and please hold all applause to the end. Zurika Cruz, Air Force. Mark Andrus, Navy. Jalen Morales, National Guard. Austin Grassley, Navy. Kevin McKearns, Marine Corps. Devin Lally, Navy. Colin Kiewak, National Guard. Alex Ledesma, Navy. Sequoia Alabobis, Marine Corps. Kelvin Mena, Army. Nicholas Whitman, Air Force. Jade Herbert, Marine Corps. Brandon Bone, Navy. And I will be going into the Marine Corps. On behalf of everyone here, I thank you for your service and wish you the best.
Good evening. It is an honor and a privilege to stand before you, the class of 2019. It is certainly extra special for me as I've had the joy of knowing a number of you since kindergarten and watching you grow over these many years. Earlier this week, I shared with you, as I do with every class, that as a school district community, there is no greater celebration or ceremony that we have to recognize the collective energy and work that has been given to prepare you to commence forward. Thank you for representing Governor Mifflin so well and giving us continued hope for the influence you will make on this world. My message every year continues to be an appeal to the class as a collective generation. What we sometimes forget as adults is that, as adults in a collective society and culture, is that we are the ones who create the context and the experiences that shape you as a generation. We're the ones who gave you digital media streaming. You will never know what it's like to pay a fine for not rewinding a VHS tape. The "be kind, rewind" saying doesn't mean anything to you. As frustrated as we get sometimes, we are also the ones that introduced electronic devices, aka smartphones. We've introduced ride-sharing, Uber, Lyft. And lastly, we've also introduced social media. Facebook, Snapchat, you know, all the rest of them. For us as adults and as an older generation, it's an innovation. It's something that we're completely fascinated with, impressed by, because we remember life without those things. For you, it is the standard. It's not innovative. It's all you know. It's why you get annoyed when there's no Wi-Fi. For us, it's a bonus. So now you are about to commence forward into adulthood, and you will now be joining us in creating the context and the experiences that will shape future generations. Think about the generation that is coming up behind you, aptly named Generation Alpha. This generation will know no other world than to talk to a device and have it talk back to you and give you answers or play songs based on voice commands. This future generation will know what a finger swipe does before they're able to walk. And it's not to turn the page of a book. What will you shape, and how will you do it? What mark will you leave on future generations that will be worthy of the history books? I know you sit there now hoping my speech ends soon, for you may not be able to relate to these ideas right now in a global context. I also know that throughout these last few days, you've heard many pieces of advice, words of wisdom. Some of it, hopefully, even if it's just one, sticks with you. Perhaps it might even be Doc Vecchio's Rocky quote from last night. But allow me to provide a few for you. First, own it. Last night, your baccalaureate theme was you may not always end up where you thought you were going, but you will always end up where you are meant to be. In the many messages and spiritual message you heard, I also hope that you heard the message of choice. For where you end up is your choice. Where you go in life, what experiences you make, and what vocation you choose, it is your choice. There is no blame game. You own it. Second, Be the person who makes it. Think about the mindset. I think about this sometimes and I get caught up in myself. Think about the mindset that might be behind the use of the word have. Right? It's a normal pleasantry. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Did you have a good vacation? Sometimes I think about it, and in a way it could be considered rather passive. And thinking about it implies that maybe these experiences are out of your control and left to chance or luck. Be the person that makes it a great day, makes it an amazing weekend, and makes it a life-changing vacation or trip. Make it, don't have it. And lastly, be it. Or what may sound better, be the bar. I shared earlier that each of us shapes the experiences and context that shape future generations. What we have exposed you to up to this point in your life is the standard, for it is all you know. Create a new standard. Create a new norm, a new paradigm, a new model. And do it as individuals, not by setting the bar, but being the bar. So as an individual from an older generation, speaking to a younger one, may you go forward and use your unique generational experiences to disrupt the norm and create a new and exciting context for future generations. Speaking to you as individuals, go forward and own the choices you make and where you end up. Make the journey something remarkable and be the bar by setting a new standard for future generations to experience. All my best to you, the class of 2019. I am so proud of how well you represent all that is great about the Governor Mifflin community. Congratulations. The first two diplomas for Governor Mifflin graduate 19,049 and 19,050 will be presented to your class president, Carson James Farmer. And your class vice president, Caitlin Elizabeth Mazaki. Carson and Caitlin will call the class roll. As your name is called, please come to the stage to receive your diploma. And again, please, we ask for your courtesy in holding applause so that every family here can hear their child's name called at the podium.
Mark Edward Address.
Colleen Taylor Boggs.
Kaylin M. Carter.
Wyatt Gabriel Kriebel.
Jacob Christopher Novotny.
Hannah Marie Tison.
Zarina Jaylene Acevedo.
Mitchell R. Brown.
Zoe Elizabeth Yaros.
Tyler Daniel Boswell.
Sequoia Sun Alabovitz.
Miguel J. Bonea.
John Charles Arntz.
Kaylin May Williams.
Kenny Alexander Arias Diaz.
Jacob T. Bowles.
Ian Craig Bagenstos.
Brandon M. Bone.
Kevin Baver.
Bryce KCT Black.
Nathan Allen Bender.
Jose I. Bizano.
Jacob Alec Benedict.
Benjamin Alexander Bisconti.
Tristan Lee Benjamin.
Diana Cheryl Blatt.
Jonathan Joseph Byer.
Faith Erica Bertolet.
Emily Louise Gerhard.
Ryan James Noggle.
Zoe Ann Brown.
Lindsay Elizabeth Diggin.
Sage Elizabeth Yoder.
Kayla Rose Delvecchio.
Dorothy Marie Braid.
Zurika Jayshalice Cruz Roman.
Matthew Jean Brown.
Nandi J. Crookshank.
Rebecca Marie Brown.
Kyle Edward Kramer.
Aiden Christian Bubbenmoyer.
Nathaniel S. Cox.
Benjamin Martin Bubbenmoyer.
Juan Carlos Covas Rivera.
Ibrahim E. Bunduka.
Aaron Jonathan Cosgrove.
Connor Patrick Callahan.
Benjamin Dennis Correas Rivera.
Janelise Enid Castoromos.
Alex Michael Coldren.
Tyler Vincent Sebular.
Mia Angelina Calamarino.
Brooke Sage Serbone.
Alina Brielle Chaprinsky.
Derek Michael DeLong.
Rosa Fernandez Mena.
Ellie Grace Denlinger.
Wesley Lloyd Fike.
Angela Margarita DeChamps.
Sabrina Alexandria Evans.
Joseph Z. Dietrich.
Melchiah Sayer Etienne.
Lydia Charmaine Dietz.
Jordan Emmanuel Espinoza.
Thomas Anthony DiPietro.
Alec Michael Ernst.
Skyla Isabel Dodge.
Alexander Raymond Ermold.
Madison Lee Dombrowski.
Andrew R. Erb.
Tyshana Monet Wright Gaskins.
Haley Marie Epler.
Jada B. Doracanado.
Andrew John Engel.
Aquila Octavia Dyson.
Ianthea M. Ellis.
Jasmine Elaine Eastburn.
Aiden C. Ebersol.
Ava Elise Enriquez.
Jessica Rose Gaiman.
Xavier V. Fleischhood.
Emily M. Garl.
Julia Rose Ferreira.
Jacina M. Galan.
Sophia Adelina Ferreira.
Alexander Douglas Gemmel.
Nash Allen Finagle.
Jacob A. Gelvin.
Adrian Flores.
Megan Elizabeth Geisler.
Stefania Joe Fonte.
Christian Grant Gedio.
Edward Robert Fox.
Alicia Mariah Garcia.
Jeremy Wyatt Fox.
Griffin Michaels Ganster.
Anne Marie Franconi.
Emma Galantuomo.
Patrick Allen Warren Franson.
Shaylee Denise Galan.
Michael Andrew Franks.
Brianna Maria Fuentes.
Jonathan A. Gibson.
Destiny Aurelia Irizarry.
Sahara Golden.
Clayton Eric Inderbitson.
Zachary Daniel Goodman.
Riley Elizabeth Hilbert.
Austin K. Grassley.
Jade Jennifer Herbert.
Cassidy C. Greeby.
Cooper Lynn Henry.
Sanai Danielle Green.
Taylor L. Heckman.
Tara Nicole Grennan.
Nathan Harding.
Dylan M. Griesemer.
Kristen Harding.
Nathan Michael Griffith.
Natasha Halulakos.
Gavin James Grow.
Alexandra Glenn Higgins.
Delaney Claire Gossert.
Caitlin E. Haas.
Kayla Rose Grant.
Christina R. Yerger.
Gavin Ray Jarman.
Hannah J. Knox.
Natalie Elizabeth Jones.
Maya Angelina Knappenberger.
Courtney Lynn Hubrick.
Megan Arlene Kleinsmith.
Cameron Elizabeth Hubrick.
Colin James Kiewak.
Ella Claire Hazlett.
Zachary Gerald King.
Kenny Javier Burgos.
Logan Eric Kramer.
Annie T. Kalos.
Mackenzie R. Kozak.
Andrew P. Kane.
Tristan Reese Cockle.
Alyssa Ann Kaufman.
Jacob Michael Neese.
Laura Marie Keffer.
Benjamin Ryan Napper.
Stanley Christopher Kemp.
Dominique Cashmere Klein.
Jeremy Robert Curlin.
Jonathan Henry Kern.
Mitchell Takming Coomer.
Anthony Nicholas Maldonado.
Ku Eric Q.
Morgan Emma Magdalinsky.
Ethan Raymond Lake.
Morgan Grace McMahon.
Devin James Lally.
Fabian Jose Martinez.
Brittany Ann Lasky.
Ezekiel David Martinez.
Alex Jose Ledesma.
Sierra Noel Marrero.
Clint Anthony LaPera Jr.
Daniel Nicholas Magwood.
Alex Peter Levinovich IV.
Max Nicholas Magrowski.
Joseph Michael Lienti Jr.
Jillian May Mack.
Eliana M. Litwin.
Mason A. Lucas.
Isaiah D. Livingston.
Caesar Elliott Lugo Jr.
John Paul Lockard.
Sherilyn P. Long.
Juan Carlos Martinez.
Dylan Jefferson Moser.
Zachary Matthew Wisner.
Victoria Rose Moscow.
Morgan Ryan Matthew.
Aiden R. Mole.
Nicholas Logan Whitman.
Samuel Adams Muller.
Kevin Thomas McKearns.
Jason Andrew Moyer Jr.
Kelvin Jose Mena.
Emily Moya.
Callum Ramsey Wilson.
Julio A. Mota Chisholm Jr.
John Cole Metzinger.
Jalen Marie Morales.
Tristan Anthony Millisak.
Vincent Carl Moore.
Gabriel Jarrett Monroy Ortiz.
Patrick Ryan Moore.
Idalise L. Melendez.
Jocelyn Arelis Montez.
Andrea Jean Miller.
Sienna Alexis Montalvo.
Aubrey Noel Noggle.
Brianna Oliver.
David Michael Nangle.
Jabril A. Odebisi.
Connor James Noggle.
Holly L. Ray Boucher.
Mason Reed Neatok.
Damian and Shane Russell.
Samuel D. Nay.
Marielle Ramos.
Jenna R. Knoll.
Kayla L. Pomales.
Alyssa Lynn Nuss.
Michael Vincent Petricoin.
Peter Ocasio II.
Samantha Margie Peterson.
Azel D. Oliveris.
John M. Pender.
Tyler A. Ordone.
Boston Reed Patton.
Alyssa J. Ortlip.
Henry Alden Packarduni.
Aaron J. Osborne.
Julianne Marie Ovalman.
Jonte Reales George.
Taina Clarabelle Santana.
Kevin James Reber.
Erica Sales.
Matthew Anthony Riley.
Bethany Lynn Ruas.
Daniel Joseph Rice.
Joshua Michael Rowe.
Morgan Lee Ryder.
Robert Joseph Rouleau.
Austin David Reitmeyer.
Lizelle-Ann Marie Rondon.
Kobe Michael Wren.
Cameron E. Roman Rivera.
Renee Jose Williams Reyes.
Taina Marie Rojas.
Colin Joseph Rickards.
David J. Roeder.
Jada Jamie Lex Rivera.
Isaac Anthony Rodriguez Hermoso.
Savannah L. Robinson Harris.
Nicole Famelis Rodriguez.
Cheyenne Nicole Rodriguez.
Harrison Richard Rowe.
Haley McKenna Santiago.
Bryce M. Stubler.
Isabella M. Santiesteban.
Mark Allen Stone.
Vincent S. Sarge.
Jordan Alexander Spots.
Alexander D. Scheit.
Peyton Edward Spears.
Parker Jackson Shuring.
Kimberly Denise Spees.
Cameron D. Schnabel.
Seth Michael Spade.
Caitlin Victoria Sharpley.
Aviana R. Simchik Diroff.
Caleb John Schaub.
Christian James Sakanik.
Megan Marie Shaler.
Dakota Joseph Xavier Sokol.
Christina Elise Sherman.
Jaden Brianna Smith.
Jillian N. Schultz.
Grace Catherine Smith.
Molly Seaman.
Jackson Connor Cinnamon.
Maisie Sol Strauss.
Jesus Vasquez.
Mackenzie Ray Swigert.
Nicole Hope Weinstein.
Hayden James Stutchbury.
Alexandra Paige Weinstein.
Caitlin Megan Teagan.
Walton.
Nicholas James Templin.
Ariana Daniela Valore.
Paisley Taylor Ann Thompson.
Sawyer M. Underwood.
Andrea N. Traveris.
Michael J. Walters.
Vincent David Terry.
Hayden Robert Wall.
Julian Richard Thomasette.
Colin Mitchell Waldbeezer.
Donald Samuel Tice.
Nicole Velasquez.
Hannah Tonkinson.
Robert R. Turner.
Michaela Elizabeth Traney.
Kaylin Eric Torres.
David P. Weaver.
Haley Elizabeth Rye.
Riley Marie Westover.
Joshua Adam Wise.
Destiny Sky White.
Jackson Thomas Arthur Wilson.
Liaja Dunn Rodriguez.
Members of the class of 2019, please stand. It is please. It is now my privilege to exercise the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Governor Mifflin Board of School Directors to declare each of you a graduate of the Governor Mifflin High School. Congratulations.
Please be seated. I would like to officially congratulate all of you on officially becoming graduates of Governor Mifflin High School. I cannot express in words how proud I am to be part of this class. Now, I was recently told that in 10 years, most of us will be almost 30. 30 years old. In 10 years, most of us will have a career in a field that we will stay for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or maybe the rest of our lives. In 10 years, some of us will be husbands and wives. Many of us will be parents. And I know, it's scary. I'm more scared of my life in 10 years than I am to give this speech right now. It was only 13 years ago that we were at Brecknocker Cymru for the first time. And now, here we are, through every year of school, packed with countless facts and knowledge that we all know will be forgotten. But the most important things we learned in high school were nothing academic. Over the past several months, I asked many of you students and teachers a question that I wasn't even sure I could answer. What is the most important thing you learned in high school? Some of you told me that you learned how to set up a realistic plan for your future. Some of you explained ways in which they learned how to think and fight through struggles. Mr. Yensert and Mrs. Waronko know very well that the most important things they taught us were not the derivatives, integrals, and trig principles, but the mindset to solve problems we face using all facets of our knowledge. Mrs. Clark and Mrs. Greenleaf did not teach us to simply know stories, but taught us how to understand another person's thinking and respect them for it. Mr. Smith and Mr. Price, well, now that we have our diplomas, Tyler and Andrew, did not teach us only STEM, but what true trial and error is, many, many times. One of our peers shared that the most important thing to high school to them was the impact others had on them and their future. This was one response that truly surprised me. As teenagers becoming independent for the first time, it's often hard to discern when we have to make our own decisions and let those around us help. Now, I was told not to quote philosophers for this message, so I'll do the next best thing. I'll quote my dad. In freshman year, while driving just down the road talking about humanity, he said to me, "No one is inferior, and no one is superior." This objectively simple line has stuck with me since he first said it. No one is inferior, and no one is superior. Our lives have been dictated into fitting into categories of haves and have-nots, the in-group and the out-group, the popular and the lesser known. Although the one thing I want everyone here to take away graduates, and adults is that no one is inferior to you and no one is superior. At this point in our lives, we are all equal. We are all in the same boat. Whether you are going Ivy League or working a trade, whether you are a CEO or working 3 jobs, we are all unsure of ourselves, and we are all unsure of our decisions. We all mess up. We all have struggles. But most importantly, we will all need help. It wasn't until that student gave me that response until I learned that the most important thing we can learn in high school is that we all need help. And for many of us, high school forced us into a position where we were forced to learn how to help and how to ask for it. And if it didn't, I suggest you learn. We will all have times that we thrive, I promise. But we will all have times of struggle. So when you are thriving, find those who are struggling and help. And when you are struggling, seek and find those who are thriving and let them help you. The people that have helped us most in our lives are all around us right now, either sitting next to us or up in the stands. In a couple months, we're all going to be leaving, and we will be independent. I am so proud to be part of this amazing group. So for now, until our first high school reunion, which I only recently learned the class president is in charge of, this is farewell.